Galamera, Galamera, Galamera. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Well, you join us on a little bit of a gloomy and cloudy day. These are two chickens who come to us every morning. We've called them Laurel and Hardy. We don't know who's who, but they're just a pair that come to us. We've named them Laurel and Hardy. So I've given them a little bit of a handful of extra food away from the other chickens. Otherwise, the whole balcony will be covered by them. So anyway, you guys, you enjoy your breakfast. Looking at the weather today, for those people who want to know how things are, oh, it's looking grim. I've got to be honest, it's not looking good. I'm hoping that the sun might fight through later today, but I've got to be honest, looking at it, I don't know. If I look over towards Kerry, that's the direction over there, behind the back of the house. That's follow my hand along there. That over there is towards Kerry. It's looking quite clear over there, not looking that bad actually. Let's have a look on the other side of the house, which looks towards Lagana and sort of Kalamaki as the crow flies. What's it like round that way? Oh, well, that's looking a little bit brighter, a little bit clearer, a little bit nicer. Yeah, who knows? I think today we might be in for a nice day, and the sun will burn off the cloud hopefully, and it will look lovely. All right, anyway, I can see people turning up already, which is really nice. A lot of news this morning, I've got to be honest, and also I've got to say today is the 4th anniversary of the passing of my dad Jerry back in 2016, so that makes it a little bit more poignant today, as I can't believe it's 4 years since he passed away over in Green Gables nursing home in Margate, with the whole of the family. My brother was with me, my son was with me, my brother's wife, my sister-in-law Yolanda, was with us, and we kept a vigil all night. And if that's a nice way to pass away, I think that is a nice way to pass away. Anyway, let's not get too morbid. We've got a lot of information. Here comes Yanni, the landlord. Bless him. He's been up early. Is it him in the car? Yes, it's him in the car. Give him a quick wave. There you go. So anyway, let's have a quick look at the news. Let's see what's been going on in the last 24 hours. There's been a lot going on, actually, to be quite honest. I've just realised I haven't set my mouse up right. Moved me tea. There we go. Right, let's have a look then. It is day 18 on the lockdown, and I'm trying to get my mouse to work now. Where are you, mouse? Come on. Oh, don't mess me about this time in the morning. Yeah, it's day 18 on the lockdown. COVID for the last 24 hours. Well, we've had 1,388 new cases. That brings the total infection rate up to 93,006, of which 54% are male. Anyway, there's been no new cases here within the last 24 hours. However, there have been 2 new cases in Corfu. Yesterday morning, a mobile unit of the Greek Health carried out rapid testing of the Zakynthos Courthouse. Courthouse staff, including lawyers, officials and judges, and other ancillary staff, they were all tested, and a total of 54 samples were taken, of which were all negative. Anyway, the tests had been planned for a while on the initiative of Mrs. Katskiri, who is the president of the court of the first instance in Zakynthos town. So anyway, good news there for you lot going to court. Anyway, since yesterday, we've had 84 deaths in Greece. That is down on the day before, where we had 103. So at the moment, there's been 1,714 deaths. The average age of most of those people has been 80 years of age, of which 97.1% of them had health problems or were over the age of 70. So interestingly, a 25-year-old man named Theodoris from Seris, which is a northern city in Greece, passed away suffering from COVID-19 yesterday. Now, his tragic death makes him the youngest person to have died with the virus in Greece since the pandemic started. Anyway, Plavdis had also suffered from pre-existing health conditions. He'd also undergone open heart surgery as well. And also on Sunday, another well-known person, Dimitris Belos, or better known as DJ Decibel, who is a well-known figure in the Greek music scene here. He passed away with COVID-19, and he was only 39 years of age when he died. But he had no pre-existing conditions whatsoever, according to the press. Anyway, our condolences to their families for their loss, and all the other people that passed away yesterday as well. Anyway, as for critical cases, at the moment there are 549 critical cases. 398 of them are male, 151 of those are female. The average age of the critical cases at the moment is 65 years of age, and they have got underlying health issues as well. Interestingly, as well, as we said, the ages of people with who are becoming critical has also started to lower as well. Now, the president of the Athens and Piraeus Hospital Doctors Association, Martina Pagoni, had predicted that Greece will face a third wave of coronavirus pandemic, and he reckons that will be after the Christmas period. Anyway, speaking on Greek Sky Radio, Pagoni said it would likely be worse than the second wave. We are dealing with a big number of cases, and more than 3,000 COVID patients have been hospitalized, he says, while the number of incubated patients and casualties is constantly rising. The third wave, he says, will come after Christmas, and it could be even more difficult, and we are still arguing about why people should not celebrate Christmas Eve together. So anyway, that's coming from Athens. Now, interestingly, yesterday, getting my mouse to work again. Come on, mouse, work. Yeah, it's working again. Zakynthos Hospital was told to prepare for increased needs that may arise due to the pandemic. The hospital management and health staff have been working on plans to increase the number of beds that could be made available in the ICU and on the general wards for COVID-19 patients. That means people from outside of the island will be coming here for treatment as and deemed necessary. Now, these instructions were given out by the 6th Health District for the hospital to be ready, not only for the locals, but patients arriving from off the island. More information became known concerning a meeting that took place at the end of last week on the initiative of the Medical Association here on the island concerning private doctors with specialities who could decisively assist with the health situation and, if necessary, cover some of the duties in the coming months, which are considered particularly critical towards the evolution of the pandemic. Now, the doctors of the Zakynthos Hospital, sorry, I'm going to rephrase that. It must be remembered that the doctor of the Zakynthos Hospital Pathology Clinic has already resigned. And while it's expected that there might be other resignations as well. But the president of the Medical Association of Zakynthos, Pavlos Kaspriemptis, noted that meetings between doctors are held on a regular basis here on the island for any current issues that arises, emphasising that based on the current data, the hospital can meet the needs. However, he noted that private doctors are ready to assist if necessary. Now, we have a doctor living upstairs to us. I'm not sure how he's involved at the moment, but basically what they're saying is that they're going to the private doctors to help put more people in the hospital to cover any rises of virus people coming in either outside the island or from within the island who need treatment. And this is not uncommon. It's happening right across Greece at the moment, where local hospitals are being told you're going to have to make provisions for more people, even if they're not from your particular island. So we'll keep an eye on that. Also, two main hospitals in northern city of Thessaloniki are now treating 1,500 COVID patients. They are at full capacity. However, there are no IC beds available. Meanwhile, the 424 military hospital, they still have military hospitals here in Greece, in Thessaloniki, which erected a field hospital in its car park yesterday, with enough beds for 50 people and an X-ray unit. It started taking patients yesterday afternoon, but I've got no more details on that at the moment. Also, another story, local related story. The 14 illegal migrants who were apprehended on Zakynthos Beach last night have been told now that they have a 3-day deadline to leave Greece. Exclusive photographs were published in yesterday's Hermes News of the migrants in a forest where they had been held by the police shortly before they were moved to the Zakynthos police station. The migrants are reported to have come from Turkey via Kurdistan and Iran. Now, the authorities are only allowing them to stay in Zakynthos as a stopover, with a final destination to be another European country, and it's likely that that is to be Italy. Anyway, last Thursday night, it seems that they had been waiting for a boat that would transport them after having paid between 2,000 to 3,000 euros each for their journey. However, the boat didn't arrive before they were located by the authorities. Anyway, the foreigners were found on the beach with little luggage, and they were all wearing masks. Now, whether they did a COVID test on them, I don't know. But I've got to be honest, I got to feel sorry for these guys to have absolutely nothing, to have come over trying to escape. Remember the last lot of people that escaped from Turkey that didn't arrive here on the island but were taken to Pyrgos. They were all, some of them were ex-Turkish policemen, some of them were ex-dissidents, who'd obviously couldn't live anymore in the regime in Turkey and decided that they had to get out. Some of them were Kurds as well, and they had also got out. And you've got to remember, Turkey at the moment has got 4 million migrants that it would rather get rid of than have staying in the country. So they point in the general direction of Greece and say, go for it. You can get there, you get there. And it's sad, but imagine yourself in that position. You've got nothing. You're hoping to get away and start a new life somewhere. Yeah, it's difficult. And yes, of course, it's complicated. And yes, I hear people saying, oh, there's terrorists among them. Yes, there may be a few terrorists among them. However, the humanitarian thing is that you have nothing and you go somewhere to try and escape oppression, and you want some help. It probably isn't coming. All right. So again, hard. And also as we get close to Christmas as well. Anyway, the Greek government announced on Monday that they would be awarding 120 million euros to support Agean Airlines to help them get through this tough pandemic-ravaged year. There will also be private participation in that programme to help prop up the Greek airline. The funds will reportedly supplemented by another 60 million euros from private grants and also from firms from the company's shareholders. So again, I don't know if you've ever flown with Agean Air. I actually have enjoyed flying with Agean Air. They've been really good. Jane and I have flown to Europe mainly with Agean, never flown to the UK. They're like one of the last proper airlines where you actually get a meal, you get drinks, and the aircraft is good. The staff are lovely. And I would hate to see that airline go under, to be quite honest. Anyway, interestingly, somebody put on my Facebook page on Sunday a question. Would you have the vaccine? Yes or no? So anyway, can I just thank all those people that have been replying to that yes or no question? I'm just going to go through what people had said. You may agree with them. You may not agree with them. My stand on this is, personally, I wouldn't at the moment have a vaccine. I don't like the way the vaccines, should I say, are being rushed through, determined to basically pick up a lot of money from governments who are willing to pay. There's about 6 or 7 different vaccines that are being worked on at the moment. From some of the experts I've been listening to, they've all said that the vaccines aren't a proper vaccine. They're just something that helps deal with the symptoms. And then the worst thing of all of this, it's being politicised, especially in the American election, where all of a sudden we've got a vaccine after Joe Biden wins the election. Rather cynical move, I thought. If Trump had a vaccine available that it was tried and tested and worked, trust me, he'd have pushed that story out and he probably would have won the election, all right? But anyway, this is what my viewers have said about your feelings on the vaccine. Joanne Smith said that would be no. Not every other vaccine goes through 10 years of development and trials. I don't fancy growing a foot out of my ass. Her words, not mine. She also says all the medication I'm on went through the usual trials. Years later, after it was approved, it caused heart problems, kidney, liver, and so on. Told my shrink the medication will kill me before anything else. Hope you're both good. I'm having a cheeky beer. Cheers for that. Emma Marco from Essex says, it's a no from us as well. Long-term side effects not known, but I have a fear that even though they say it's not mandatory, you won't be able to do simple things in life if you can't prove if you can't prove we've had it. Yep, that's the other thing. People saying you can't get a passport unless you have a test. You can't go on holiday. If you have a test, fair enough, but to have the vaccine and then being told you can travel, I think smacks on an infringement on your own personal liberties. Anyway, Jane McGrath, who's a local in Zakynthos, she says, yes, I'd have the vaccine. It's currently undergoing stringent tests. The research has been going on years because they started when SARS was happening. The tests started this year. Way more people in tests on short space of time than normal. Yes and no to that, to be honest. I feel that testing is important. It's about time. There's lots of different types of vaccines that are being tested. It will be interesting to see which one is the one that wins the bid. Will it be the lowest cost one? Will it be the highest cost one? Or will it be the ones that MPs and senators in the United States have got shares in the companies that produce it? That will be the other thing we'll have a look. So anyway, but Jane says she would have the vaccine. Jude Aku from Liverpool says, not for me, thanks. Asa Bricknell in Athens, ex-resident of Zakynthos, says, nope, not just yet. We'll see what's happening. Very wise, Asa. Tamandra French, who is also works for the ambulance service over in Ramsgate, she says no. Paul Mason says, most deaf, I will be. So Paul says he's going to have it. Benjamin Hines, I'm not sure where Benjamin is from. He says, I don't really want the vaccine, but I also want life to get back to some sort of normality. Also, visiting Greece is part of my life. I'm concerned that future holidays, countries and holiday insurance companies, they may want confirmation that you have had a vaccine before you can travel. Yeah, that's what I've said. It also worries me as well about that as well. Mike Galfrey, who also lives here on the island, has said no. Maria Bailey says we might not have a choice if we want to go places like Greece, laugh out loud. We might have to be vaccinated. Yes, from me, they won't bring out something that's not suitable, unsuitably tested. Thank you for that there, Marie. Alison Denton, who's ex-RAF and also an Iraqi war veteran, she says if we want to resume normal life, we will really have no option. I would think all airlines and most countries will want proof you've had a vaccine. Yeah, good observation as well. Jane O'Sullivan says, and that is a no from her. Heather Nash, Birmingham care worker, she says, my answer is no, as I've got the virus unless you can get it again, I won't need it. Yeah, always look on the bright side in the header. Yeah, you're probably right. We probably had it and we don't realise we've had it. So, and we've had no symptoms of having it. So when we get tested, we're going to prove positive for having it. However, are you going to have a vaccine on top after you've tested positive? When you think you've had it, your body's already got the antibodies to fight it. There's a lot of people walking around who've had it, haven't realised they've had it, and it's not affected them. Again, another form of the flu. Jill Ford says, I've wasted a year, not wasting any more, and I want to travel again. I think a lot of countries will make vaccination and entry requirements. So she's a yes. Teresa Stokes says, no, not at all. Beverly Talbot from near Port Talbot in Wales says, yes, I want my life back. I'm sick of being isolated. Amanda Hajati, another Zakynthos resident, she says no. Laura Williams in London says yes. And Dave Matthews from Oxford, he's ex-RF Regiment. Again, he says, yes, I want to go back to my wife's family. Now, I think his family is basically in Australia, his wife's family, and I think they've been very, very strict there, and it wouldn't surprise me in the slightest that you're going to need a vaccination to get into Australia the way that they've been handling the crisis. Also, Happy McNaughton from Zakynthos says no. And Nikki Nix, lovely Nikki Nix, she says, no, don't fancy being a human guinea pig for the big farmers. Hundreds of thousands of people have had this virus with mild and no symptoms, and I'm sure I'm among them. So technically, they're all immune with their own antibodies. Isn't that what the vaccine is meant to do? Why can't everyone have the test to see if they have the antibodies? And if so, shouldn't they qualify for a travel passport or any other so-called benefits the vaccine is meant to offer? Oh, wait, there's not as much profit in antibody tests, yeah? I agree totally. Nice little cynical reply there, Nikki. But again, I think it is important that it is your own choice. Whether you have the vaccine, it's your choice. I'm not an anti-vacciner. Especially where children are concerned, etc. Your booster jab, you always remember that as a kid. Yes, you need that. But at the moment with the virus, it is another form of flu. Yes, it is a serious form of flu. It has killed people, there's no doubt. But people have died from other things. Far more people have died from other things like heart attack, stroke, cancer. People at the moment who are not getting the treatment they should get for other diseases because COVID is seen as the priority. Anyway, let's have a look who's looking in at the moment. I think I've raised quite a bit of comment actually from those. And also, can I just thank all those people that took the effort to write little messages on my Facebook page, reference that. I do appreciate that. I really do. And I do enjoy reading what you have to say. Might not always agree with you, but this is what it's about. Free speech. At the moment, this broadcast could get taken down because you're not towing the party line in putting out the word of positivity. And as far as I'm concerned, I'm not putting out any false information, anything that can't be backed up or can't be cross-referenced. That's the reason why I put it up onto YouTube as well, so you can easily get access to past broadcasts and you can cross-reference and check anything that's said. And all the sources that I use are from legitimate news gathering sources or people who work here and are in the know, or people from my vast experience of life that I've worked with all around the world who send me nuggets of information. So there you go. For anybody who wants to criticise what I've been doing, that is the way it is. Anyway, Tracy M. Mitchell is watching. Lovely to have you looking in. Teresa Ann Hugger is looking in as well. Nice to see you as well. Les Porter is in. He says, hi, Ginge. Hello, Les, mate. I've been trying to get in touch with you for ages, but Les used to work with me on Celebrity Cruises, and he's over in the United States, so you're up early this morning. That's all I can say. Sharon Byron says, Gallimera from a windy Exmoor. Oh, I feel chilly just hearing the word Exmoor. There you go, my darling. Anyway, she says, you enjoy today. John Atherton is watching. Les Porter says, owie! I think that must be an American thing. Chick Ballantyne is also watching, ex-Raffridge buddy. Ian Booth is watching. He says, morning, Colin. Hope we are well. Yes, we are very well today. Lyndon is also watching as well from Wales. Nice to have you tuning in as well, Lyndon. Martin Cussell is also watching as well. He's a paramedic, works for the ambulance service in the UK, frontline worker. Nice having you tuning in as well. Eileen Zemadis is watching as well. Lovely to have you tuning in. Graham Chisholm is tuning in as well. Tracy M. Mitchell, morning. The dog is... Oh, I'm so pleased about this. Tracy Mitchell put up pictures of this really cute little dog that had been left tied up outside, I think, a newsagent's. Little boy had gone in to get stuff from the newsagent, come out, walked away, left this absolutely adorable little dog tied up outside the newsagent, and walked away and left it. It was chucking it down with rain, which made it look even more sorrowful. And she's just reported to me that the dog has gone back to its owner. It broke my heart to see him like it was. I can't believe you'd walk away and forget a little dog like that outside of a newsagent. So I hope whoever the little lad was, he got a good stiff talking to from his mum and dad for getting the dog. All right. Anyway, Hilary Rogers is watching. Thank you, Hilary. Nice seeing your garden this morning. Your weather was better up the road than what ours is down here. Probably the clouds moved up down here from yours. You live at the north of the island, Piggadakia. Lindsay Lamb is watching as well. Heather Flynn is watching. Heather Nash is watching as well. Nice to have you join us, Heather. I hope you're feeling a bit better today, and especially Gary is feeling a bit better. Dave Camp says, stand easy, men. DJ Ginge is on here to save the day. He says, same. Good morning, buddy. Hope you're well. I am, sir, and thank you for your very kind comments. I feel like I'm giving orders again when I was in the forces. Ian Wallace is watching as well. Peter Lee is watching as well from Kefalonia. Peter Lee does an English broadcast on Cosmos Radio over there in Kefalonia. Not heard from Peter in a very, very long time. Anyway, I hope you're keeping well, fella. Heather Nash says, morning, mate, from me and Gary. Hopefully Gary is on the mend today, as he's been awful for the last 2 weeks. Now, Heather and Gary, they tested positive for COVID. Heather is actually a worker in a care home. So obviously she's not been furloughed, but she's been basically sent home to get better. Gary is obviously a builder. He's obviously not been able to work. And Gary actually has been feeling it worse, I think, than what Heather has. Heather says it just feels like a very serious hangover at the moment. So anyway, you two get better, because we want to see you back here later for the season, hopefully next year. Anyway, Julie Ansell is watching as well. Heather Nash says, we're listening from our bed. Bless you. Doesn't bear thinking about. There you go. Bless you. Amanda Gregory is watching. Amanda Gregory says, morning. Philip Ellis is watching. Raffridge buddy. Also Clive Darwood, ex-Raffridge buddy as well. Shouting out to him. Give him a wave. There you go. Amanda Gregory says, I thought they said if a vaccine was found, it would be free to all countries. Well, yeah, the vaccine will be free probably to people wherever you live, but somebody's going to have to be buying it for the country. So trust me, there's a lot of pharmaceutical companies who are going to make an awful lot of money out of this. Yeah, the race is on to find the cure. But at the moment, from the research and the people that I've seen and heard, they're all saying at the moment that the vaccines are not actually 100%. But then again, what is 100%? And a lot of them no more effective than having a Lemsip, all right? But we'll keep our eyes and ears open. And of course, when you've got conflicts of interest with politicians and senators and public officials who've got shares in companies that produce this, and also you just have to look at what's been going on with Boris Johnson in the UK, where they've been giving contracts to people who are friends of friends to deliver a service, and money wasted on that for no result at all. It all does smack a bit of just people taking advantage of people in a time of crisis. Anyway, Hilary Rogers, Good point Hillary's just raised here. I remember the thalidomide given to pregnant women in the 60s and those deformed children because that wasn't tested. I remember my mother was a midwife in the 60s, and my mother remembers her being offered thalidomide, and she said, no way, I'm not taking that. And if you think of all the children that were deformed, again, through thalidomide, and it took them a very long time to seek any justice over that. And again, thalidomide was a drug that was designed to ease pain for women giving through childbirth. And hospitals were happily just giving it out like Smarties to people. And my mother, who was a midwife, said, no way, I'm not taking that. And I said, I'd rather have the pain, and trust her. It was a good move. Okay. Anyway, Matti Korgian, I think they're from Sweden. Nice to have you tuning in as well. Steve Hinkling from Stoke-on-Trent. Not sure what the weather's like where you are, fella. Nice for you tuning in. George from the Obelix restaurant is also tuning in. Nice to have you tuning in, George. John David Esther is also tuning in. Nice to see you. Michael Wood is tuning in. Shane Bowen is tuning in. Mark Tilley is watching. Mark Tilley says, good morning from me in Northampton. Northampton. I used to DJ in Northampton when they had the Bar Med there. Long time ago. Crazy town. But I quite enjoyed that town. Jane Mackay Gunn is also tuning in. Steve Hinkling says, Gallimera, have a good day, with a little wave. Julie Stevens is watching as well. Hillary Rogers said, that was an old video, Ginge. Thank you. I thought the weather was a bit too good, but your garden looks lovely, by the way. Also, Ian Wallace is tuning in. He says, Gallimera Ginge. James Buchanan is also watching. He says, Gallimera. Alan Woodhouse is watching in as well. Anyway, can I just say thank you to all those people who've been tuning in. Just to remind you that tomorrow is my, I think it's my 13th show tomorrow. Yeah, my 13th show tomorrow. If you want to put any requests or dedications or any messages, drop them just down below in the little comments area. The show will go out at 3 o'clock UK time, which is 5 o'clock Greek time. 2 hours, maybe a bit longer, depending on how I feel, of great music, little chat, the Golden Vault, also jukebox memories as well. If there's any song you remember on the jukebox, wherever you were, pop it down below. Name of the pub, the location, the song, the reason why you liked it so much. And also the Golden Vault, where I normally take a tune from the day that someone was born, the #1 record. See, the thing is, you can choose your music. However, your #1 record you are born with, you don't get to choose that. That's chosen for you on the day you're born. So that's always a bit of fun as well. Right. Also as well, just to let you know, show number 12 has done very well in the charts at the moment. At the moment, it's number 20 in the reggae charts, number 69 in the soul, and number 49 in the pop. Anyway, that's it from me. From here in the lovely Macardo. It's a bit dull. In fact, it's just starting to brighten up just a little bit, not much. And we'll see how the day goes. Thank you for all those people who put those comments on. And I'll speak to you again tomorrow. You take care and have a great day. Ta-ra.